Hey everybody, it's Evan. Just wanted to talk to you about week 3 coming up. Yes, week 3 will start on Wednesday, but we do have it open in the course. You're going to see a tab across the top called Toolbox. Week 3 looks at the topic of building your toolbox. We're going to talk about basic tool types that an online teacher would use. Look at them from kind of a purpose standpoint. Again, one of the big things we talk about when it comes to different tools is that sometimes people get hung up on the brand name of the tool. If you think of it like cars, it's like, oh, do you have a Honda or a BMW or something like that, rather than do you have a sedan or a minivan or a coupe or whatever the case is. And, some people have preferences. Some people are really big fans of Hondas or BMWs or whatever the case is. But really, it's kind of the category of the car, the coupe, or the sedan or the minivan that's really the important thing, because that's the functionality of the car. If you have a family, having a two-seater coupe is not very functional for you. And there's other people that really don't want to have a minivan either. So that's just the same way with online tools. There are different tool purposes for learning, whether it is for having students create, produce writing, if it's to have some management or assessment type of tools, whatever the case is. And then within those purposes, there are tools that do that, and some do it better than others, and some you're going to prefer more than others. But you want to make sure you're using the right tool for the right job. And we'll talk about that in the course. You'll see a couple of lessons there at the top. I am revising the second one. Should have that done in the next couple of days, and I always apologize. I say that, and then it takes me a little bit longer. I am on the road all of Monday for workshops that I'm leading, so maybe Monday night or Tuesday I should have that one open. In addition to that, we do have a lesson here on adding content to your LMS. This one is specific to Moodle. Now, we did ask individuals to fill out the form for what LMS you're using. I did hear back from Carla and Serena. And by the way, for both of you, you should see your practice course if you haven't seen it already. It'll be under your My Courses area. And that'll look differently depending on where in the site you're at. But you go under My Courses, you click on the little hamburger, pull that in. It should be listed there, and it'll be called like Carla Wall's course, for example. Okay, you should have access to that as a teacher, be able to go and do the things that we're going to be doing in our LMS. I did not hear from others in the class. Bev, I did hear from you separately. You got the alternative plan that we're working on here for you. So for right now, though, everybody that I know of is using Moodle. So if you're not, if I didn't hear from you and you're not using Moodle, please let me know. Otherwise, I'm just going to go ahead and provide tutorials within Moodle. Now, this tutorial is a little old. You'll be able to follow it along. It just will look and feel a little bit different. But it does go through the basics of adding things with the tool types. For assignments in week 3, we do have one forum, and that is on tools for teachers. At the end of our lesson, we'll take a look at a site that has a lot of different tools there. I want you to look at those and find one that you might think has some application for it. You don't have to go and become an expert at the tool, because we're actually going to do that down here. So if I go in to the site, Tools for Teachers, run by EdTech Teacher, and we used to use a different site, but no one actually ran it and such, so we're using this site instead. They do categorize tools a little bit by different purposes down here, different subject areas, that type of thing. What I'd like you to do is to go in, and let's say I'm looking for a tool that creates maps. I can look around here, and they give a rating and ease of use, and I could go in, find something that I'm interested in. I could look at the tool itself, or if it is a tool that you're not necessarily sure how it's going to work, and you can't figure it out by when you click on it, how Google Maps works, like, okay, is it just a map? How do I actually do something with it? I encourage you to go in and use your YouTube skills and see how do teachers use Google Maps in the classroom or something like that. Now, I'm not saying you'd pick that one there, but that that's kind of the purpose of this. So this is more of an exploration. I'm really not as concerned that you're going to pick a tool that you want to use or that you even find useful. But I want you to, this is going to be more of a creative something, you know, as you're looking for a tool that you see that someone could use in an online course. All right. Also, we've got, we used Diigo here this week for annotation. Now we're going to go and actually bookmark resources to Diigo. So let's say I went to, a different site this time, Audacity. Okay, and let's say this is a site that I found that talks about online tools, or tools for online education. And you might not use this one. I might want to use like an article or someone who's reviewing a piece of technology, even a video that does it, whatever the case is. But regardless of the sake, let's say I use that. We're going to use our Diigo tools, and again, that can be different depending on what tools you're using. So on mine, I do have a little Diigo button here. I just clicked it on there. So if I click it, I can go in and save bookmark. And then for this bookmark, I want to do two things. This is really important for this assignment. I want to type in Moodle Iowa, Moodle_Iowa for a tag, and then I want to share it to the Ollie Iowa group. Yeah, it's a little cumbersome, and we're testing our Diigo tagging skills. The reason why you would do this is that these are two different ways which you can go and gather resources as a class. So if I wanted my students, as we're doing here, to go out and find articles and resources on a topic and kind of bookmark those so we can create a big collection of them, I could have everybody go and be part of the group, which we've done here, and then when I share it, the whole group can see it. Or I could go in and I can tag it with a tag and then go and use that to pull in information as well. Pop that private there, and then click Save. Okay. When I do that, if I go back to the assignment, over here are listed the past bookmarks that people have found. And again, it says Moodle resources. That's a misnomer. It doesn't have to be on Moodle, obviously. You know, we've tagged them from Moodle Iowa. This is, it can be on any technology that would fit with an online course. And those will then appear over there. So it's a little bit of exploration of not just Diigo and how Diigo works, but also other tools and how you might use that instructionally. You do need to have two resources. Please don't make that more difficult than it needs to be. You have a site that you can use to go and find resources, and I don't want it to be more than a half hour's worth of time. I really don't. I'll make that be a very simple assignment. All right, we do have, I'm going to skip down to these four things here. In our practice course, which you have set up, you're going to go in and do four things this week. You're going to edit your headers. You're going to create a page. You're going to create a link to an external website. And then you're going to create a link to a file that you upload. And by file, I mean not a Google Doc, which is really a link out to the Google Doc. It would be something that actually like sits on your computer. So Microsoft Word document or PowerPoint or whatever, a PDF. If it's a PDF that you already have on the web, you can download it and then upload it as a link file to there. Again, practice is why we're doing this. We're doing it for the purpose of practice. Okay. You'll note that since those are in your practice course, Moodle cannot check those off. So you'd need to check those off if you want to use that for your own organization. That's what the solid colored boxes mean. All right, in addition to that, this week we're going to start our independent exploration proposal. So by the end of the week, I would like you to identify a tool that you're going to go in depth with throughout this course. Okay. And then by the end of the course, you are going to have created an artifact. And it's going to vary depending on what type of tool you're using. About 75 to 80% people in the past have used SoftChalk Cloud, and that's great. I will have a lot of tutorials on SoftChalk Cloud, and that's definitely an option. Others have used screencasting tools. We are going to practice with screencasting as a class in week 4, but some people want to actually go beyond that and make it more of a video. We do have some resources on that as well. There are some other tools that you can use for creating wikis or databases or other things like that. We do talk a little bit more about that in week 5. Some people have asked in the past if they could use Google Docs. Typically, I say you're already pretty familiar with Google Docs, Google Drive, and this is a chance to go in and explore a different tool. Now I do mention in our toolbox some of the ones that I suggest, and we actually have 5. We have kind of the Fab 5 when it comes to tools, but you don't have to stay there. There are a lot of other options. If the one that you picked for our forum this week is one that you say, hey, I'm not just thinking out loud here, I'm actually interested in looking at this further, that's fine. You can use that for that. All you need to do today, or not today, by November 7th, which is the end of week 3, is create your proposal, just a short paragraph which outlines what it is you're going to look at and what artifacts, and then I can give some feedback on the basis of that. All right. And that is a look at week 3's assignments. We do get started with SoftChalk Cloud. Again, I've got some basic tutorials here, including the website. You will sign up for a trial account of SoftChalk Cloud if that's what you're going to use, and there are directions on how to do that. Once you do that, if you're going to use SoftChalk Cloud, you're going to do a request form for that. What might be even better, though, is to start here with the tutorial. And this is kind of a course-long tutorial in SoftChalk Cloud. It gives quite a bit of information on that and starts off with the basics. What is it? We're talking about SoftChalk Cloud quite a bit, and I don't really understand what it is. And then we get some basic terms at the beginning. And then it talks about how do you create an account, right? How do you create that free account? So this kind of really walks you through everything, and it does link out to other items. How do I go in and ask for a license? And we have the link that other link there. Okay, and then as you see, there's quite a bit. It gets into doing the basics, and I'll get into doing the advanced stuff later on. So this can help be a tutorial that you'd use over the length of the course. All right. Oh, I just clicked on something. Okay. So that's a quick look at Unit 3. I'm going to talk about the basics of adding and editing content in Moodle. Upcoming this week, I'll just do a quick video which I show how to do these items here. And so if you are confused by this tutorial, that video will help. However, if you got it down and are doing well, that video will be kind of enrichment for you. You don't have to watch it. Otherwise, I hope you have a great weekend, and we'll see you real soon.